looking at verse 22 today. Guru Nanak Dev Ji continues his discussion on the false attempts by mankind to know the extent of the universe, to understand its edges, to understand its limits. In the previous verses, we've seen how Guruji looks at two competing theories from the Islamic tradition and the Hindu tradition. So this is a continuation of that conversation. The verse begins, Patala Patal, Lak Agasa Agas. So the word Patal is the underworlds, the under regions. And Akas is the word being talked about here when we talk about Agasa Agas. And Akas means skies. So we've heard some of these words before. In the Suniye Pauris, when Guruji says, Suniye Deep Lo Patal. In the Hindu mythology, they said that there is the earth and then there are 7 lok, 7 higher realms, and 7 patal, lower realms, underworlds. The word lak in Indian numbers means 100,000. Ik lak, 100,000. Lak means hundreds of thousands. And here Guruji uses a very specific grammatical tool known as Dehali Deepak. The word lak is Dehali Deepak, which means that the word lak in the middle of the phrase refers to the words before it and after it. So when we read Patala Patal Lak, Guruji is saying that there are hundreds of thousands of patal, lower regions, and the word lak also applies to agasa agas. So there are hundreds of thousands of higher regions, higher realms. A lot of time you'll hear Guru Nanak Dev Ji being misquoted with this particular line. A lot of people will use this line to suggest that Guru Nanak Dev Ji predicted long before scientific discovery. Guru Nanak Dev Ji predicted that there were thousands of galaxies and solar systems. To somehow show that Guru Nanak had this power of fortune telling. So this is not what Guruji is saying here. Guru is not trying to show his own powers and his abilities within this Bani. At this point, Guruji is simply quoting the existing theories. So when Guruji talks about Patala Patal, Lak Agasa Agas, when we look at the next line, we understand the context that Guruji is using. Odak odak pal thake ved kehen ikvad. The word odak means to reach the end of something. The end of the end. The very ends. Odak odak. Pal means to search. Notice it has a sihari, it's a verb. Pal. Odak odak pal thake. Thak means to get tired. Odak odak pal thake ved kehen ikvat. If we were to translate this line, we could say, those searching the ends of the ends are exhausted. This the Vedas utter. This is what the Vedas have told us. So the Vedas have already explained that there are hundreds and thousands of worlds, that the limit of the universe cannot be found. The limit of divine creation can't be reached. But Guruji isn't talking about something purely historic here. Even today, we have scientists trying to understand the universe. The big questions of the universe come under a study, a field of science known as cosmology. It includes concepts like string theory, dark matter, dark energies. And you may have heard of the most famous scientists in the world fall into this category of scientist. People like Albert Einstein, Stephen Hawking. The approach that they use is known as theoretical physics. And in theoretical physics, unlike other types of science, there are no experiments. There is no evidence. There are only theories based upon mathematical calculations. Now think about this. Scientists often mock religions because they say that religions are based on belief and science is based on evidence. Yet at the very highest levels of science, at the point where no more experiments can be done, there are only theories. So at the height of religion and at the height of science, there are questions that are asked that simply cannot be answered. Questions that cannot be proven by experiments. And historically, cosmology, the study of the biggest questions of the universe, has always been studied by the religious. It was always the meditators who were the ones looking at these big questions. So, initially, it was the believers who were studying cosmology. Now it's the atheists who are studying cosmology. But both had the same desire to try and understand the ends of the universe. But what purpose do these questions serve? What purpose does it serve mankind? The study of cosmology looks at the origin of the universe and the future of the universe. But reality exists in neither the past nor the future. There is only one reality, which is now. As the now moves on, reality moves on. So no matter how much they search, their questions do not give us any better indication of our reality. And even if they figure out that date when the universe started, the question still remains, but what was there before that universe? In Hindu cosmology, they have estimated that the creation of the universe is cyclical. That the universe that has been created, the one that we exist in now, is not the first universe. Each time the universe is created, expands, collapses, then it starts again. So even if we understand when this universe was created, have we really understood the origin of everything? But both in scientific cosmology and religious cosmology, there are always going to be questions, there are always going to be limits that cannot be reached. So this is what Guru Nanak Dev Ji is saying, Odak Odak Pal Thake. Searching the ends of the very ends, the searcher gets tired. There is a limit to how far you can go, but still you won't reach the very ends. And this, the Veds testify. Sahs 18 Kain Kateba Aslu Iktat. Sahs means thousands, 18 means 18. 18,000s Kain Kateba are what the books tell us. Here the word books now refers to the Islamic Abrahamic traditions. Within the Abrahamic traditions, Islam talks about 4 books, 4 revelations. And again, we see a similarity to the previous verse. In the previous verse, Guruji talked about Kavan Sovela, Vakt Kavan. Guruji was talking about Hindu ideas and Islamic ideas. So here again, Guruji has started with Hindu concepts around the Veds. Now Guru is talking about Islamic concepts. Sahs 18 Kain Kateba. So the Kateb, there are 4 Kateb. The first one is the Torah, which is the holy scripture of the Jews. Revelation revealed to Moses. The next book is the Zabur, the revelation revealed to David. Some say that the book of David equates to the book of Psalms within the Bible. The third book in Islamic tradition is called Injil, the Bible which is revealed to Jesus. And the fourth and final book within the Islamic tradition is the Quran revealed to Muhammad, which is why they say the Quran is the last revelation, the fourth and final book. Each book in their tradition, they say, was relevant for the people of that time, but when the Quran was revealed, then that became the final word. And all of these books and the traditions that follow these books talk about 18,000 worlds and 7 heavens. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji was familiar with all these concepts. During the Guru's times, around the time of the 5th Guru, Guru Arjan Dev Ji, one of our most respected scholars was writing the history of the Gurus. His name was Bhai Gurdas Ji. And Bhai Gurdas Ji talks about a story when Guru Nanak visited Baghdad in Iraq. Guru Nanak visited Baghdad after his tour of Mecca. And he settles outside of Baghdad and begins to sing Kirtan. The sound of his Kirtan was so mesmerizing that the whole town became silent and still. And the meditators and the great saints within Baghdad knew that something important is happening. They went to find the source of this silence, and they found Guru Nanak. They heard Guru Nanak Dev Ji recite these verses, Patala patal lak agasa agas, Odak odak pal thake ved kehen ikvat, Sahs 18 Kain Kateba. He went and reported back to his seniors and said that there is a man called Nanak and he is saying blasphemous words. Where we and our tradition talks about 18,000 worlds, he says that there are hundreds and thousands of worlds. Where we talk about 7 heavens, this man called Nanak is talking about countless heavens. The leader at the time ordered all of his followers to pick up stones and to go stone Guru Nanak to death. And all the people who were agitated by this message went to Guru Nanak, ready to throw stones, ready to kill him. And a holy man called Dastagir questioned Nanak and said, how can you possibly claim that there are more? And not just more, but hundreds of thousands more. What evidence do you have? If you show us the evidence that you have, then we will leave you alone. Guru Nanak Dev Ji offered to take Dastagir. He said, I will take you and show you how many galaxies and solar systems there are. Dastagir got a little bit worried. He said, I'm old. I may not survive such a journey, but my son is young and he is innocent. Take him, and whatever he comes back saying, I will believe him. Guru Nanak Dev Ji is said to have taken the son of Dastagir and told him to close his eyes. When he closed his eyes, he was catapulted out to the galaxies. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji took him to one galaxy after another, after another. And everywhere that he went, Guru Nanak Dev Ji took a little sample and brought something back and gave it to Dastagir's son. And Dastagir realized that there was no limit, because Guru Nanak was able to go further and further and further than anyone had shown before, to a point at which Dastagir's son said, please, can I go back to my father now? I fear I've seen too much. Guru Nanak Dev Ji brings back the boy, but brings with him prasad, evidence from every single place that he's been to. And the boy reveals back to his father, there really are countless universes. So this story is recorded and was written at the time of the Gurus by Bhai Gurdas Ji. It's also covered in a lot of detail in other great historical texts by Mani Singh Ji's Janam Sakhi, Kavi Santokh Singh Ji's Nanak Prakash, very established, very respected historical granths. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji has shown that there is no limit to the universe.